Hello and welcome everybody to another Tarkir Dragonstorm draft video. I'm Paul Cheon and today we are sitting at rank number 4. That is right, rank 1 is within reach. The date of this recording, just so all of you know, is April 28th, so I have maybe 1 or 2 days left. This will be coming out in May, but I am getting a little bit ahead of my videos here because guess what? I also have a very busy week ahead of me. We are closing on a house very soon. Hopefully things go super well. And so I will be very, very busy once we actually get the keys. All right, now, as we head into this draft, let's go for rank 1. Let's keep it tight. Before we head into the draft, of course, this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether you need booster boxes of Tarkir Dragonstorm or if you want to pick up some old booster product rather, check them out. If you want some singles, also check them out. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want great deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, they got a ton of great stuff. Check them out. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. They're also basically at every single Magic convention that you can think of that's at least based out of the US. So if you find their booth, tell them Paul sent you. You'll get 10% off in person as well. Oh, also keep in mind, we are going for trophy number 7 in a row for these videos. So that's also an exciting thing. Let us see. All right, now this is one of the scariest cards for me to open, only because black is a pretty bad color. And typically I like splashing black, and playing a double black card is a pretty heavy cost. There's also Holomark Siege. There's that Golgari counters deck that's been getting very popular, and I think this is a very good card in that deck. For common, we have Saga Wildling and Molten Exhale as options as well. As far as power level goes, Karsi Revenant is certainly the best card by a lot, but I'm just trying to figure out where this would go best in. I mean, that being said, it's still just the best card. You take it. If it's not available, we don't play it and we make it work, right? The thing is, there's also like a black-white mid-range deck that you can certainly draft where, you have really powerful cards like the Revenant and the Pack Beast, for example. And, you can still play aggressive negotiations and curve out that way. Now, that's not my preferred method of winning, but that's certainly an option. And this pack is actually really weak where the commons are all pretty bad. So this could be a pack where I do consider one of these powerful uncommons here. There's both Dalkovan Pack Beast and Mardu Monument. And it's really interesting which one to go with. The Pack Beast seem pretty hard to replace, but the Mardu Monument's also very, very good. This is a little bit better if I don't end up in just straight Mardu. Like, I don't know. I think it's close between the two, but you know what? I'm going to take the Pack Beast here. And maybe we end up in some kind of black-white deck. Maybe we don't. But let's take it here and see what the packs give us. Pack 1, pick 3 gives us a Stormscale Scion quite late here. This card, I think, is very, very good. But there's also Mardu Devotee, which I do believe is the best common out of this pack. And it's honestly probably the best card. Temur Tawnyback is okay. Sage of the Fang is okay. Actually, Stormscale Scion is probably the best card in this pack. But given our start so far, it does make a lot of sense to take Mardu Devotee. And, I've had a ton of success drafting 4 and 5 color decks. That's how we got all of our trophies in a row, basically. But the first one was a black-white mid-range deck. So I'm really hoping that the aggro colors are open here. I don't want to be aggro if the colors are contested, but let's take the Devotee here and see if this is where we need to be. Okay, well, we continue to see a bunch of good white cards. Now, this pack is pretty strong. We have Glacial Dragon Hunt, which is the best card in this pack, but not too far behind. I mean, it is the best card, is Salt Road Pack Beast and Molten Exhale, and both are very, very good. But in a creature-centric deck, I do think the Pack Beast is better, and that is the direction that we're headed. So for all you aggro gamers, this is for you, I suppose. I mean, I would love to be red-white, but even in red-white, I actually think I prefer the Pack Beast over the Exhale. You just want to play to the board and have a ton of creatures, so yeah, let's take the Pack Beast out of this pack, but it's nice to see the Exhale. Maybe red-white's open. Also, black is just a really weak color, so even if black is open, it's going to be hard to tell. So we'll see where this goes. All right, well, I'm happy taking another Pack Beast here. That is a pretty late Exhale. I think people still don't understand how good this card is relative to the format. I think it's a top 3 common in the set, and people still pass it very, very late. I just, You know, they just don't change their evaluations based on the format. There are some formats where this type of counter isn't great. This is a format where it is. Now, Jeskai could also be something that we can consider. But let's just take the pack beast here. Narset's just okay. Windscarred Crag's obviously good, but yeah, I am still just really happy with this creature start here. It just looks, I'm just constantly taking white creatures. We're not seeing a whole lot of black. I would really love to play a pair of the white with the red if possible, potentially black. But I think I'm just going to take Bearer of Glory. This deck certainly looks like it needs a 2-drop. Pummeler is fine. The blue-red land is fine. Boltcaster is also fine, but you know, this type of deck really, really cares about its mana curve. In pack 1, pick 7, yeah, we are not seeing any black here, but we're not seeing the good red cards. We're not seeing War Effort. We're not seeing Shock Brigades, but that is a late Equilibrium Adept. It is definitely the best card in this pack. It's this and Riverwheel Sweep, and I'd rather just have the creature here. So let's take this and see where we need to be. All right, pack 1, pick 8. There is a Reigning Victor and a Scoured Barons. I think the Reigning Victor is replaceable, and I'm not sure if I'm red-white or white-black or what have you. And you can get some of these late. I think this is a decent time to take the Scoured Barons. In case I did end up in more of a white-black deck, then certainly I would like the Barons more. I do like Rebellious Strike as a trick in a go-wide, mobilize type deck. I think it's better than Worthy Cost in general. And again, we don't know if we're black-white or red-white. We just know that we're white. Here, this is interesting. There's Aggressive Negotiations and Riling Dawnbreaker. You know, I'm going to take the Aggressive Negotiations here. The Riling Dawnbreaker is fine, but if I'm going to be white-black, I do think the Negotiations is a better card. So let's go ahead and take that. I certainly don't want to play Summit Intimidator. Actually, I guess there's a world where if I don't have enough playables, I have to play it, so we'll just take it. But it does look like there is at least one other Mardu drafter at the table, so it's kind of difficult right now for us to figure out what our second color needs to be. That's okay, though, because we still have a bunch of solid white cards here to start. But yeah, just something for us to figure out. Here we have the choice between Dalkovan Pack Beast and Mardu Devotee number 2. Awaken the Honor Dead, obviously a good card, but not where we want to be. You know, given the color situation that we have, I like the Pack Beast, but there's a lot of good 3s, and I just think the Devotee is just, like, irreplaceable. And you want a bunch of cheap creatures, so I don't know. I think this is somewhat close, but, you know, anytime my opponent leads with a Mardu Devotee, I'm a lot sadder. Usually you can have sometimes an answer for the Pack Beast, but this just smooths your draw. Having 2 lets you play 16 lands with the Scry. Like, I just like this card a lot. Here, I will take another Pack Beast. Just mono white? Are we doing the Kenji stipulation here, where we just play a monocolor deck? It also helps us cast Karsi Revenant on turn 3. There's just a lot of reasons why this is good. And now I think this is probably the instance where we do take the Purging Stormbrood. Excellent combat trick that doubles as a threat in the late game. It's exactly what a black-white base deck would want. So I think that's what I want to take here. Nothing else really stands out to me as a card that I want in an aggressive deck. So let's take the Purging Stormbrood and see where this goes. See where this goes, because it looks more like we were leaning into a black-white deck now, which is totally fine. And if we get enough fixing, we can perhaps splash the Equilibrium Adept. Moving on to pack 2, pick 4. This pack is excellent. There's Dragon's Prey, Salt Road Pack Beast, Frontline Rush, Krumar Initiate, and Descendant of Storms. I'm going to take Descendant of Storms. This card is phenomenal. And we're still, I think we're very likely to be black-white. If we're black-white, Descendant of Storms is the pick. If we're red-white, I think it's closer between that and Frontline Rush. But I wouldn't be surprised if Descendant of Storms is still the pick anyways, and this is still looking like a really, really solid start. All right, moving on, we have a... Okay, well, there's a couple of Mardu cards, but my thing is, when I draft these aggressive decks, I like to stay primarily 2 colors as much as humanly possible. I think the Butcher is just okay. Thunder of Unity also, it's just hard to cast. It's hard to be able to play on turn 3. And Fortress Kinguard is a premium 2-mana card. So I'm going to take the Fortress Kinguard here. And yeah, it looks like we are settling in nicely here to a potentially solid black-white shell. And now we have Lightfoot Technique, Aggressive Negotiations, and Osseous Exhale. I'm going to take the Negotiations. People seem to be really high on this card, and this seems like the perfect type of card in this type of deck. I already have a Lightfoot Technique type card in the Purging Stormbrood. I know there's a decent chance that I get a 3rd copy of this, but I really want to try this. I think this can be quite good in this deck. Moving on to pack 2, pick 7. Pretty weak pack. I think I'm just going to take a 2-mana creature just in case I need it. There's a Lightfoot Technique, but Again, I'm not super high on it. Like, there's Rebellious Strike. There's just a lot of other random tricks you can play. But at the same time, like Abzan Devotee is certainly not something that I'd love to play here. But we'll take another one here. There's also an Abzan Monument, but I think I'm just going to take another Devotee here. I really would rather just be straight 2 colors if possible. We're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, you tell me, how many aggressive negotiations is too many for this type of deck? This is 15 cards here. Unburied Earthcarver is actually a decent creature in this type of deck, especially if you can mobilize. We don't have a ton of mobilize, but it's a fine, serviceable 2-mana creature if that's what you need. Don't want to play the Eris and Sunshield, and yeah, this deck is certainly pretty medium, but I don't know what other direction we could have gone, honestly. Maybe Jeskai, but red was definitely not open, so that's not the direction that we could have gone. We opened a bomb here in the Karsi Revenant. Black also doesn't seem to be super open. And I think this is still a reasonable configuration of cards, considering we don't have a ton of rares. Definitely don't want to play Crocodile in this deck. And yeah, I mean, I don't really see this being the type of deck that wants to splash red just for the Equilibrium Adept. I think if I open like a Sonic Shrieker, I could maybe consider doing something like that, but we'll see where this goes. All right. Ooh. Is Windcrag Siege good enough here? I don't know. There's also Wayspeaker Bodyguard. Do I take the Siege? I just don't want to splash the red. This is a boring pick, but I'm just looking out for my mana curve. I'm just going to take Bearer of Glory here. Look, we have 3 aggressive negotiations. It is in our best interest to have just a bunch of cheap creatures to play. We're looking at 7 right now, and that's, exactly where I want to be. And I don't really want to play the Abzan Devotees, and this, is a nice little creature, especially if you're aggressive. Here, I'll take Fortress Kinguard over Great Arishan City and Scoured Barrens, just making sure we have more 2s. We already have a Scoured Barrens and double Mardu Devotee, so our mana situation should not be too bad here. And then, of course, now we see a Shocking Sharpshooter, but at this point, I think it's too late to swap over to red-white instead of black-white. And on the splash, I think this card isn't particularly strong. There's a Glacial Dragon Hunt, a Bewildering Blizzard, certainly a bunch of good teamer cards here. There's a Sandskitter Outrider, which I don't love either. But for me, it's like, do I want the Outrider or do I want Lightfoot Technique? Guess I'll just take the Outrider here, but definitely don't want to play that if possible. All right. Ooh, this is interesting. Well, there's Clarion Conqueror, Mardu Devotee, Frontline Rush, Mardu Monument. I think Mardu Monument's better if I'm looking to actually splash the red. And if not, I think I just, I don't have a lot of 3s, and this is just a great 3. It's a 3-mana 3/3 flyer. Actually, no, I take that back. Oof. I just realized I have a bunch of activated abilities, and it shuts it all down. So I took the Mardu Devotee, but I'm not sure if that was correct. But hey, with triple Salt Road Pack Beast, it can't be too bad. All right, so now we are absolutely great on the cheap end cards here. I don't know about the Mardu Devotee. Is it worth it to play a Mountain and a Mardu Monument, even though I don't have any red cards that I really want to play? That was kind of close. Here we have another Salt Road Pack Beast. I mean, I will keep taking these. This card is phenomenal, especially with all these cheap things that we have. Now we'll take a Riling Dawnbreaker, which... a Stadium Headliner now? Come on. Now we're seeing all the good red cards. Anyways, let's take Riling Dawnbreaker out of this pack. So this prevents Mardu Devotee. This prevents Bearer of Glory activations. Unburied Earthcarver. I don't know. I just felt that there was enough that it doesn't work on. Why is there a Wingblade Disciple this late? That's nuts. I guess Strategic Betrayal... I don't actually have any removal, so this is probably fine to play. Yeah, and the thing is, we don't really have any go wide type cards either. I suppose this is mostly a combat trick. 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a million creatures. I definitely am in the market for one more card. Certainly okay playing the Sandskitter Outrider. Not interested in the Equilibrium Adept, I don't think. There's also Abzan Devotee, but actually, Dispelling Exhale with 6 cards left is nuts. But the Wayspeaker Bodyguard in this deck actually seems great. 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 10 things I can get back. So, look, normally, the reason why this doesn't work in most decks is you just don't have enough targets. But with 10, I'm in for 10. Okay, so I don't know. Somehow we're just getting a bunch of decent red cards now, which makes me sad, but it's okay. Look at this. All the Narcissus Rebukes and Team Rotani backs. Well, Frontline Rush. That's a good card. Still don't want to splash for it, honestly. Yeah, like... this is just a really weird... This is just a really weird draft. Like, white was really open. Red just didn't seem that open after pack 1. No Shock Brigades, no War Efforts, no Frontline Rush, no Shocking Sharpshooters, nothing like that. And then pack 3, we just got all the red cards. But you know what? I do want to try this deck here. Like the curve out and then disrupt your 5-color opponent's decks with aggressive negotiations and try to win that way. You know, we have 16 cards. We don't have a million tricks, but look, we do have a deck with a lot of card flow. We have 4 Salt Road Pack Beasts, 1 Rebellious Strike, and triple Mardu Devotees. So we do have... That is kind of our engine or our way to make sure that we just keep having things to do. And honestly, this deck, you know, it doesn't feel like a trophy deck by any stretch. I feel like I can very easily get overpowered here. I'm also certainly missing, like... I know I'm missing things here. I don't draft this deck often, so I'm not exactly sure what it is I'm missing, but probably like, you know, a Caustic Exhale, maybe like a removal spell maybe is something that I'm missing, or a Duty Beyond Death, something along those lines. But it does look like a cohesive strategy. The core of this deck looks much stronger than the white-black deck that I've drafted for my first trophy, but that had Elspeth and Sinkhole Surveyor. So that deck was just way more powerful. But I do think there is something here, and hopefully we just get really good draws, curve out our opponents, and can win in that manner. Would I have wanted Lightfoot Technique in this deck? I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. Like, maybe the aggressive negotiations and all of this is just better. But I certainly did not value them highly, thinking I could get them for free. I don't really want Abzan Devotee. I don't think I like the Sunshield or the Lancer. I think this is it. 16 lands, keep our curve low, and our top end is Pack Beast. And honestly, with our deck, Pack Beast is like a 3-drop, which is insane. Possibly lower. So the curve for this deck is really, really low. Wouldn't even be shocked if this is potentially a 15-land deck. But I'm going to play 16. Like, if I had a really good option in the sideboard, maybe. Like something, another cheap card. But we have Mana Sinks in the Bearer of Glory, Descendant of Storms, and what have you. But yeah, I could see a world where we might want 15 lands in this deck, but whatever. Let's try this. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and would like to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons. Really do appreciate all of your support. The Patreon has been super active this time around. They've been super active. Access to the Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel. Every single day, we have multiple people posting their trophy picks, where we're going over draft logs. We're just talking about Limited all the time. I've been very, very active recently as well. So if you also want to get in on that, make sure you check it out. All right, we are on the play here. I'm going to keep this. No Mardu Devotee turn 1, but hey, we got 2 drops into things. Well said, Paul. Well said. So turn 2, probably just play Bearer of Glory, just because that's the hardest thing to block. All right, Swiftwater Cliffs is the play from the opponent. We drew all of the Pack Beasts. Hopefully we can get a discount on them. I wonder if I wanted a Nightblade Brigade in this deck. It's a pretty mediocre card, but it does work well with the Pack Beasts. I do have Double Fortress Kinguard and like 10 things to play turn 2 or less. So I think we'll be okay. Mardu Devotee would be a really nice draw. I could go Devotee plus Earth Carver, and then that would reduce the cost of the Pack Beasts. All right, Jeskai Monument is the play for the opponent. Great, great card. The ones that make extra tokens are the best ones. So Jeskai and Mardu, I think, are the best, and then Sultai, followed by Sultai, Temur 4th, and then Abzan last. That would be my ranking. Mardu is probably the best one, though. All right, let's play the Earth Carver here. We drew 3 Pack Beasts, which is not ideal. And right now, it's not looking... I mean, this is the downside situation, but, you know, we are playing 16 lands. So all we need is for my opponent to not kill one of these and for us to draw a 1-drop. Or draw a land. Draw a land would be perfect. Or a 1-drop. I mean, 1-drop... But if I draw a 1-drop and go 1-drop plus Dawnbreaker, it's fine. But an untapped land would be, I think, kind of the ideal draw to start things off. Our opponent must have a lot of options here with 2 mana. Removal spell, counter spell, who knows? Okay, oh, so they're just like all the colors. Sure. Okay. Well, we drew all the pack beasts. This probably gets countered. And if it gets countered, it's a disaster, because, I mean, this is ridiculous, right? This is just, like, what do you do when you draw literally all 4 of your pack beasts? Well, you hope to draw land number 4, that's it. Man, that's frustrating. Only because, like, this type of deck needs to have really smooth draws, and our deck is about as smooth as it gets, right? Our curve is ultra low, we have triple Mardu Devotee, we have lots of smoothing, but if you can't get it going, then of course that's a problem. And then when the games go longer, that poses a problem, right? Because they're going to be able to go over the top. So already, us missing a land drop there, missing a beat, is just so huge. Wow, I can't believe they blocked. Okay, well, we'll take it. All right, and we drew the land, so that's also big. So, but the thing is, we still didn't get to add to the board. But, you know, being able to kill a Tawny back and drawing a card is obviously great. You know, obviously, if I can get these going, that's really nice. Like, a 1-drop into this is really strong. But, like, what do I do if they just play something big? Okay. Ice Ridge Serpent is certainly good. I imagine they want to bounce the Bearer of Glory. Yep. Okay. Okay, well, Fortress Kingguard was an excellent draw here. If they don't have a removal spell, oh my gosh, right? If they don't have a removal spell, I can play 3 Pack Beasts next turn, which is completely ridiculous. If they want to kill something, they should probably go for the Bearer of Glory. Okay, Mammoth Bellow is obviously also just good. And this is the problem with just not having removal. Like, what do I do, right? It's going to be very tough. Oh, Strategic Betrayal is a nice one, but let's start things out with Pack Beast number 1. Let's play Pack Beast number 2. That's insane, right? That is absolutely insane. And I'm actually going to cast the Betrayal here over playing another Pack Beast, because I want to get that Mammoth Bellow out of my opponent's graveyard. And this also kills the Ice Ridge Serpent. So, yeah, that was an amazing turn for us. And we have a very wide board, and we have access to 5 mana here, meaning that we can attack with the Pack Beast and pump the Bearer of Glory. That is certainly an option. But what I'm also interested in doing is just running out my Pack Beast. Yeah, and if they're just looking to just block everything here, like, we just chill. We don't need to attack just yet. They have a bunch of mana up. We just keep adding to the board, and the 4 Pack Beasts are actually going to come in and be super relevant here. Oh my, this is ridiculous. This is actually insane. I'm going to say. This is actually insane. 1 mana, 4/3, draw a card. Okay. I mean, what, you know what I mean? Like, we just wait. Next turn, attack with everything. And they're probably just dead, to be honest. Yeah, Sultai Monument's just not going to get it done here, probably. They're probably going to crack it, right? They're probably going to crack it. Oh, Stormscale Scion? If they were in my last draft, that is certainly something they can have. Revival of the Ancestor. Okay, sure. That was good. I mean, that was very powerful. This attack is insane. Okay. But yeah, I mean, they clearly played, like, the more powerful cards. The thing is, they don't even have good blocks, though, right? Like, what are they going to do? They just don't have good blocks. All right, they're blocking the Bearer of Glory. Now, they do have 2 mana up, so that's a little bit interesting. But we'll see what blocks they make. Because they are obviously going to try to stay alive here. 5, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. They need to keep blocking. They need to block. If they block this, that's still lethal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, yep, they got to block another Pack Beast here. Yeah, that makes the most sense. So we're looking at different, as far as damage coming through, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Now the question is whether or not I should go for the Purging Stormbrood or just hold it, right? I think I just want to hold it. Like, this is the only big creature left, and they still have 2 mana up. So the best thing that I can do is pump this, because I'm so wide anyways. Yeah, no, I like this. Like, look at my board still. Look at my board still. Like, what can they do? I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attackers, and I have Purging Stormbrood available, right? So even if they, like, make 2 tokens, that is still just not close to enough. And I just feel like they're under a lot of pressure. If they had a removal spell for 2 mana, they would have cast it on that previous turn. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. This is straight up just lethal on board. If they kill the Earth Carver, then we still have lethal. This is still lethal. 4, 5. Yeah, this is still lethal. Oh my gosh, we just drew Bearer of Glory. Well, now it's mega lethal. All right, well, you know what? The quad pack beast definitely did pay off. Oh man. Look at this. And this is like, we didn't even draw the aggressive negotiations, but that's what an aggressive deck can do, and we are now rank 3. Oh man, I don't know. Usually though, I will say there's a pretty big buffer between ranks 3, 2, and 1. Usually, from my experience climbing the ranks and going for rank 1, it's like sometimes you need like 2 or 3 or 4 wins to get from 3 to 2, and then perhaps even more wins to get from 2 to 1. We shall see. But rank 3, highest we've been all season. All right. Opponent on the play here. Curve is never an issue, although our Mardu devotees seem to be hiding. We have 4 1-drops in our deck, by the way. 4. If anything, I should actually play even 1 more planes. Although I do have Karsi Revenant, but triple Mardu devotee. Like, I really want to play those 1-drops, and they're all white, and I'm playing 8 planes and a black-white land. I feel like it might be correct to just play 9 planes, a black-white land, and 6 swamps. Yeah. So I'll make that adjustment. Having Swamp Mardu Devotee just seems like the actual worst feeling ever. Although in this case, obviously, we're happy with these swamps because we literally just drew the Karsi Revenant. All right, nice little curve here. They're going to tap this and draw a card probably. Yep. Which one do I play? They're both really good. Caustic Exhale? Disruptive Stormbrood? Okay. I mean, I'm just playing the Karsi Revenant here. It deals the same amount of damage, but gains me 3 life, and it's got evasion. Seems like a pretty good deal. Ooh. Aggressive negotiations on the Pack Beast into Rebellious Strike? Could be a thing. This is interesting. If they have a removal spell, they probably would have killed this already. If they have a counter spell, they could have a counter spell. It's like, basically, it's which one of these 3 drops do I want to play? If I want to play this, then I want to play it first and then attack. Alternatively, I can just play Pack Beasts. I think this feels like a counterspell. So I think I want to run out the Pack Beast here and then play the negotiations to get something. If I draw a land... Man, okay. Well, I think now it makes sense to go for this. And if you have another counterspell, so be it. Okay, sure. Oh, that is very good with the skimmer, isn't it? Wait. Oh, during your turn. Oh, so that they actually made a mistake. They made a mistake. They should have just gone it back on their turn. Like, I missed a land drop. Like, or maybe, yeah, I missed a land drop. That was a... I actually think that was a big mistake from my opponent. Do I play the Wayspeaker Bodyguard here? It actually seems pretty good, because then if I resolve that, I can use it to tap things. Okay, I shouldn't have played it because they obviously had Fanekeeper's Familiar. Okay, it's fine. I mean, they have a good deck. Hopefully they're just out of action. What is this? That tells me they don't have much of a follow-through. Or follow-up or whatever. Well, Carseed Revenant just being amazing here. All right, Einok Wayfarer, very, very good with the Skimmer. If they miss on the land, though, they don't get to draw the card. But yeah, they're going to draw the card here. All right. Kind of all in on this Revenant here. Doesn't look like they have any counter magic, but clearly they could have drawn one here. They're not really in a position to attack. Can I attack with the Unburied Earthcarver? If they attack with nothing, probably not. They can certainly attack with the Flyer. It looks like they have a recursive spell in hand. Wait, they wanted a 5-mana card? Oh, for the... They don't get to draw more cards. They've already used this ability. Oh, Auroral Procession. Traveling Botanist. Okay. Okay, I mean... They actually, like, they actually do have a very good deck here. But they're at 5 life. All they have is a Procession, so they need to draw something here, right? Because I can Rebellious Strike one of my unblocked flyers for the win, and they don't have a way to stop that. Like, all they can... Oh, they can get back Sipsig Appraiser. Sure. And that draws them basically... They get to look at 3 cards here, but they will only have access to 2 mana. And... Yeah, so... Yeah, this still looks okay, but it's one... Oh, and they have the life gain land. So... This is really, really close, right? Like, they have a few draw steps here to find a good answer to my board. To my flyers. That's not bad. Stormbrood, I actually... Why would you do that? That was... Then you... What is happening here? But they have a Sipsig Appraiser and they didn't use it? Oh, they did draw the Tap Dragon? Wow. They drew really well, if that's what they have. Yep. Woo! Woo! They had a sweet deck. This was an excellent Kishless Skimmer deck with lots of good uncommons. And we are still ranked 3. 2-0 with our... mishmash of white and black creatures. Carseed Revenant, just boom, getting it done. And yeah, if you look, I mean, we have mostly white cards anyways. This is a double black card, but look, the way you have to think about this is with triple Mardu Devotee, this is a card that's unlikely to die early. Like, as long as I get that in play, that's 6, 7, 10 black sources, if you think about it. So I think that's fine, and I think it's just more important to be able to play these white cards in turn 1. So let's go ahead and go with this. And our opponent was ready. I think we're playing a high Mythic player then. Okay. Never mind, just a Mythic player. All right, opponent on the play. Yeah, we'll keep this. We have a 2-drop, a removal spell, and some Pack Beast that we could cash in at some point. At some point, we will draw one of our 1-drops. I literally have not seen them in the first 2 games. But we won the first 2. Look, if I can win every single game and never draw them, I'll take it. Okay, drew a land there. That's not what we want. I guess the first land is okay. Blue, black. Alchemist's Assistant. Okay. I just don't want them to have a life linker in play. Like, playing this just negates that anyways. And removing this renew effect actually seems pretty strong. This is an interesting... Sultai with an Abzan Devotee, huh? Venerated Stormsinger. Okay. Fair enough. This is a very odd collection of cards, but we are drawing too many lands here. Alright, what do they have? They're like Abzan counters, but Sultai counters or something? Whale of War. I don't care about the Relic right now. They're just really far away from that. So it's Whale of War and Reputable Merchant. And I actually don't want them to play the Reputable Merchant. So I'd rather them spend a turn to cast the Whale of War to get the Reputable Merchant back, I think. I think this just slows them down a lot. Oh, they can't get it back. What am I saying? They can't get it back. Oh, they can Whale of War targeting me, though? Okay, so I have to attack. I mean, that's the thing. Like, this Stormsinger is a big problem. They actually got a pretty good aggressive start. Like, if you don't kill this, it can be annoying. I mean, I would have loved the Stormsinger in my deck. I'll tell you that. Alright, 1-drop here. I would rather not draw, like, a million lands in a row here. Would be my preference. Okay, just all the pack beasts, sure. 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think they want to attack with the Stormsinger here. Okay. They can attack... Oh, no, they can't attack with the Devotee if they do that. Oh, good. That is perfect. That is perfect. That's... Allowing us to stabilize is very, very big. So I can't play both of these. I can attack with Bearer of Glory, though. Let's see what they do. Because I have the Rebellious Strike. Okay, so I guess I'm forced to use Rebellious Strike. Wait, I can also activate this. Alright, whatever. The thing is, if you had a Piercing Exhale, why wouldn't you use it right away? Right? Like... Okay, okay, Desperate Measures I'm okay with. Oh, I could have prevented them from drawing 2 cards. Yeah, I mean, that was an option. Oh, I am so dumb. Oh, geez, okay. Yeah, that was a... Alright, anyways. So they have a Whale of War. Aggressive Negotiations is fantastic. Wayspeaker Bodyguard gets me something cheap back. What do I want to grow is the question. I don't think I want to grow the Bearer of Glory because they're 1 land away from popping this. It can be the Dalkovan Pack Beast, honestly. Because they have the Pummeler, sure. Oh my gosh, really? Double Whale of War? I don't love my attacks. Okay. They can get back a Devotee, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this looks kind of difficult here. We'll see. Especially if they get that big dragon in play. I don't want them to play an untapped land here. Abzan Devotee. I mean, I can play this as a Flurry Enabler and just tap something down. Is that good? I mean, I'm at 9. They do have Whale of War still. So this does just make blocks really tricky here in general. No, I don't think tapping is good. I'd rather just play this and pump with the Bearer of Glory. Okay. Yeah, so I can't save the Pack Beast. I think I just have to let this go. Because if I activate, then they can Bearer of Glory in response. So we'll just take the 11 damage here. Okay, they drain us some amount. And now, this is interesting. I don't have anything to get back with Wayspeaker Bodyguard. Maybe I just play Fortress Kinguard here. But that prevents me from tapping anything down. But I think I'm going to play it. But I'm keeping the bodyguard in my hand, actually. As a way to... Basically, I'm hoping... Okay. That's what I was hoping to have happen. I'm going to use the bodyguard to get something back and then tap stuff down. But we are not in a good spot. Like, if they draw a land, it's so bad for us. And they just drew, like, knockout maneuver here, too? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. What an absolute blowout. They just went Dragon's Prey into knockout maneuver. That is nuts. So this blocks here. Do we have enough? Well, they have the Whale of War, so I should just block here anyways, right? Oh, the Whale of War gets me anyways, but they're not going to cast Whale of War here, I think. Alright, so they're at 8. Oh, and then we just found aggressive negotiations. So I am so close to killing them. Oh, this is ridiculous. I am so close to killing them. The problem is they have the Whale of War, so they can shrink my team, and I can get in for 6 damage. Oh, what a close game. So now I want them to cast the Whale of War, right? They don't really have any other line here. They have to shrink my team. Okay. So they take 7, and I have these 2 blockers. If they crack this and kill my guard, the bodyguard has to chump block a 4/4, right? The bodyguard has to chump block a 4/4, and I take 5, 6 damage, and I go to 1. And then they have a life-linking dragon in play. Although, no, they need to tap some... They can't just do it without tapping one of their things, right? So yeah, that's not even that big of a concern. So yeah, let's just get them to 1. Alright, extremely close game here. If they even top deck a removal spell, we're still not dead. We would go down to 1. We would take 6 damage. Like, they kill this, I chump here, I take 4, 5, the 1/1 dies, 6, and then they go to 2. Okay, that's not a removal spell. That is not a removal spell. I think we have this? No. They did just play another blocker, and they go up to 3. They have 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I mean, they have to... They have to get into combat in some way here. That was a good draw, though. So by attacking, they go up to 3. I chump here. Or maybe, do I not need to chump? Okay, well, I just drew 2 things. That's got to be enough, right? Because right now, as it is... I mean, they're just literally dead on board. They're at 1 life. Yeah, I just attack with everything. These don't trigger until after things die. Oh, man. We've had some really close ones. We've had some really, really close ones, and we are still rank 3. 3-0. And I will say, I've drafted a lot of the 5 color, and that's definitely where I lean, but sometimes you just, depending on how the draft goes, you bob and you weave. I've done some research outside of my own drafts, and I've heard a lot of people also having success with black-green and black-white curve-out decks with aggressive negotiations as a way to have answers to the more mid-range to slow 5-color decks. And so far, so good. All right. The more and more I see this, though, the more and more it seems like I'm catching up to Ekin is out of reach. I bet they have a huge lead. All right, we are on the draw again. All right, we have a 1-drop and a 2-drop here, but I would like to draw a black source. I did add a plains, but that's just because I have 3 Mardu devotees in my deck. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, well, at least that happened. I don't know what to do here. Do I make a token? I think so. Oh, wow. That was a big mistake. Oh, well. That was a huge mistake. I should have done it after blocks. I forgot about Frontline Rush. Yeah, I forgot about Frontline Rush. Okay. Good beats. All right, well, I think seeing what they have in their hand and making a 2/2 seems pretty good here. Stormplane Detainment and Frontline Rush. I guess if they Stormplane Detainment my 2/2, it's not too bad. Ah, that was bad sequencing. Yeah, that was bad sequencing. No, never mind. I don't have an option. What am I saying? I have to do it on attack. Like, this is just not going to do anything else for me anyways, so I'm just going to run it out. Like, obviously, Strategic Betrayal is at its worst in this matchup. Detainment on my 2/2? Gotta do what you gotta do. Alright. We racing. Okay, we drew the Swamp. So that obviously makes me happy. And hopefully that was their removal spell, right? Because that's a really clean answer to the Revenant. And now this is in play for us. All right. Double Frontline Rush. They had some good cards, and we are still rank 3. What is this? What is this? Okay. Yeah, okay, so not a misplay, right? I have to make the decision. And so it's also likely that they have an Osseous Exhale. It's more likely that they have Osseous Exhale than Frontline Rush. And making the token there, like even if they have Frontline Rush, it's like I traded one of my spells for one of my opponent's spells, more or less. Alrighty, 4-0 with this black-white deck. Opponent on the... Hey, they do exist! Now, this is a land-heavy hand, but we are on 16, and we have a Devotee to scry away any additional lands on top. So I really just didn't want to land on top of my library. I will bottom all lands, see what we find. Ooh, I like both of those, though. I guess I'll just keep both of those. I guess I should have kept the Riling Dawnbreaker in case they take this out of my hand. I'm not sure if I want to go wide here. I have a Salt Road Pack Beast, but I'm concerned this won't be able to attack, but I don't know. I mean, this deck just feels like it wants to go wide anyways, so... Oh, Caustic Exhale. All right. Well, I can't play the Revenant now, but I think that should be okay. We should still be able to find a black source. Sage of the Fang. We wouldn't have been able to attack anyways. Now we'll play the Pack Beasts. So now is a point where, like, I really need some kind of trick to be able to push through the Pack Beast, because if they play a second creature here, then I can't even attack with the Pack Beast, right? Wow, and this is a great counter start here. Turn 2 Caustic Exhale into Sage of the Fang into Host of the Hereafter. That is very, very good. Alright, Salt Road Pack Beast. If I draw a land, please be a Swamp. Okay, well, that's why we didn't play the land right away. We play Scoured Barrens, and we pass. Yeah, and this is probably my worst matchup. The thing is, most people don't play Abzan, but just like usually the Abzan deck that creates the spells are going to be better. And yeah, I mean, this is lining itself up to be a potential loss here. Our opponent went Revival of the Ancestors, and there is no shot I can race a card like that. Let's play the Revenant here over the Dawnbreaker. Actually, being able to Revenant Pack Beast is pretty cool. Yeah, but Revival of the Ancestors is beastly. They probably want to at least make 1/4/4 because I have all these 4-power things in play. That seems kind of odd to me. Now they have a big Sage of the Fang, I guess. Okay. Also, they're like... just this is just Abzan Raiders deck, I guess. Alright. Maybe they miss on this? Okay, they missed on it. Look, we're still extremely behind here. All right, here. This is my game plan, okay? This is my game plan. All in on Karsi Revenant. In some way, shape, or form. Like, this doesn't give... Oh, it gives... My bad. I was like, this doesn't give trample. And it definitely gives trample. It's okay, we're at 19. We'll just take a really big hit. It's fine. We'll just take 10. They don't really have great attacks elsewhere anyways. Okay. The question is, am I interested in trading something here? Well, I have this, but certainly don't want to put the Dawnbreaker in front of it. It's like, do I want to force something out of their hand? Let's just block here, I guess. The Pack Beast isn't really doing that much here anyways. Honestly, if I was my opponent and I had some kind of trick, I'd probably just let this bounce. Like, this doesn't seem particularly strong, but sure. But now they're only down to 2 cards, so this negotiations is going to be worse. But we'll see. Okay, never mind. I will have something good to take here. Okay, they put 2 cards on the bottom. Show me what you have. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? They have a Baitor and a Bloomvine Regent. Is this the algorithm? Like, what is this? I don't understand. It's just all of the Abzan rares. Okay, I guess I take the Baitor because they can play it. Oh my gosh. That's unreasonable. That's what's left in your hand? Come on. Yeah, probably not going to win this one. Holy cow. Okay. I don't think these are good attacks, but... let's go here. So I put this here and force them to use the Exhale. It gives me another crack with the Karsi Revenant, but they do gain a bunch of life. But it prevents them from playing Bloomvine Regent, which might be worth by itself, right? Like, I think it's kind of close. I can also triple block and force them to use the Exhale that way, and I guess I don't care about any of these creatures. I'd rather have these 2 flyers, I think, than have a wide board. Although, if I was my opponent again, I just let everything resolve, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they gained like 15 life this game. I mean, they've got some filler cards too, like Cruel Truths is obviously just not ideal. But if you have a bunch of life gain and you need some way to get card flow going, and Abzan has an issue with that, you just go for it. And they have a Bloomvine Regent and Baitor as bomb rares to get. Okay. Okay. Yep, that lander was not ideal either. And, you know, like, this isn't a... My deck is not perfect by any means, so this is kind of expected. Like, again, my opponent's, like, not making great attacks here. Like, don't you really want to play the Regent? Guess I'll just block here. Jump there. Just attack with the creature on the left and the right. I don't have great blocks at all. And then you play the Regent. But I don't think it matters. Oh, that is actually really interesting. Wayspeaker Bodyguard to get back. Fortress Kinguard or Mardu Devotee? Fortress Kinguard is a little bit... Mardu Devotee lets us top deck something a little bit better, but I think I just need more blockers, honestly. So let's just get the Kinguard and just hope we top deck better than our opponent. Like, they do have a bunch of tappers and stuff, or a bunch of just really annoying things in play, so... I mean, Bodyguard was probably one of my best draws, to be honest. And now if the Revenant trades with the Bloomvine Regent, we can then move the counters over to the Wayspeaker Bodyguard. Sage... Why are they... Why do you not want to play this card? We are at 5. Strategic Betrayal. basically does nothing. So I go to 9. Let's see. So I go to 9. I block this. This is 8. So I have to chump block one of those. So I can't really attack anymore, which is really unfortunate. Man, this betrayal has looked quite bad so far. So there is no situation here where I think they have lethal, which is good. The strategic betrayal and then sacking the blocker let me safely attack with the bodyguard. And then that traded with the Sage of the Fang. Okay, so that is a 9/9, which we're obviously blocking. Oh, this is brutal. Whenever something dies, yeah, they get to move 8 counters. That's ridiculous. Okay. All right, you know what? Our deck tried its best, but our opponent had a nice combination of just a bunch of good counter synergies and rares, and it was just too tough for us to actually be able to fight through all of it. Now, our deck actually tried. Like, this was good. You know what I mean? It's just not enough. Yeah, Host of the Hereafters were amazing here. I mean, Host of the Hereafter with Revival of the Ancestors, like, that'll get it done, right? So. All right. Good beats. Now, given that we had a couple of wins at rank 3, we shouldn't fall out of this. Yeah, just because we won like 3 in a row. So I think at least our spot in 3. But we still, now, like, given that loss, we need to win, like, basically we need to win out to have a shot at getting to rank 2. Man, they had a good start. All right, here we go. Got some Mardu Devotees, Riling Dawnbreaker, Karsi Revenant on 3. That's good. Don't really need any more lands here. So let's go Devotee turn 1. I'll take some camels. Any camels? The bodyguard doesn't seem particularly strong. I will take the Stormbrood though. That like drawing a good combat trick here does seem pretty good, so go ahead with that. Make a 2/2. Like, I can't imagine they're going to kill my Devotee here. You'd much rather just kill the 2/2. And that's what makes this card so good. It's like, it's a great mana fixer, smooths out your draws, and your opponents feel terrible killing it every single time. Abzan again? What is happening here? Let's play this first, and then attack. Like, I don't want them to randomly just, like, decide to block the Devotee and I can't play the Revenant. They might go, like... The best thing for my opponent to do here would be aggressive negotiations, right? That's the dream. Turn 2 Formation Breaker into turn 3 aggressive negotiations, attack you for 4. Or keep it back, rather. Sage of the Fang is also good. But, okay. So they are looking to race here. All right. The thing is, it's... Like, I'm in a really good situation to race, right? Because I have the Karsi Revenant, so this is okay. Don't want that, and I certainly do want aggressive negotiations. Let's play the Pack Beasts. Oh! I didn't even consider the fact that if they somehow choose to go all in on the Formation Breaker, I can remove all the counters by hardcasting Purging Stormbrood. Now, am I going to do that? Probably not. But we'll see. It's another Formation Breaker. Which is a 3/3. And a Riling Dawnbreaker. Okay. So putting a counter here doesn't really do anything, right? So I just want to put a counter on the Revenant. Kintree Nurturer and Sandskitter Outrider. Don't care too much for those. Guess we'll just take the bigger card. Okay, I mean, we're just Carsey Revenant, let's go. I kind of want them to use Sage of the Fang, and then I can remove counters. If they use Sage of the Fang, they're going to try to race me, I suppose. Nope, it's just Kintry Nurturer. They might want to just make a bunch of tokens here. I'm not sure. Oh, no, 3-2. Okay, fair enough. Okay. And Abzan Monument. Okay, so this could be a good opportunity for us to attack. We'll see what we find. That's a Pack Beast. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's play this. So what do I want to do? So the Kintry Nurturer can block one of my Pack Beast tokens, which is not great. So it does feel like attacking with Revenant's the only really good line here. So let's go ahead and do that. Also, this puts me in position to kill my opponent, because they're at 6. They have one unknown card in hand. And so if they keep the Nurturer back, yeah, I don't know. This is tricky. Because they might want to go Sage of the Fang on the Nurturer. Actually, taking the Sand Skidder Outrider might have cost me here. Or I don't know if it cost me, but it's going to make it a lot closer. But if they do attack with the Nurturer and spend a bunch of mana to do so, that does mean that I can attack with the Pack Beast and get in for a lot of damage. So we'll see what they do. Okay. All right, so this puts them up to 12 life. All right, sure. I'm going to just play a little bit of a longer game here. Do I have a 2-drop in my yard? No. Just attack. And now, we just play this. And then remove all the counters on the Nurturer. Boom. And next turn, if they make some big attack or whatever, I can play the... I want to chump with the Devotee so that I can play the Bodyguard and play it and tap something down. Very close game, though. This is like the second Abzan countery deck we've seen in a row. Riling Dawnbreaker. Okay. They can pump the Formation Breaker and hit me for 5 unimpeded. This does not do a good job blocking these two, though. But I don't have a cheap spell to play to tap down the Dawnbreaker. So that's free damage. No attacks. Okay. Well, that is probably just the play here, right? All right, so we'll play the Dawnbreaker. All right, they're at 4. They're probably like... I'm at 19, they're at 4, and I have 3 flyers. I would be very surprised if they can win this game. Unless they go Dark Ritual, Crater Hoof Behemoth. Okay, got that one. They had an interesting start with the Formation Breakers. A lot more people trying to do other things outside of drafting 5 colors. And you know what? We're at that phase in the format where that makes sense. I mean, I'm not doing it either. But for me, it was mostly like, I felt like this was my lane in the draft. Like, red-white could have been a thing too, but given how I didn't see the red in pack 1, and given that I saw the I opened the Carsey Revenant, it just made more sense to lean into black-white. What's our record, by the way? I have no idea what it is. I forgot. Okay, hey. We're on the draw, but this is a nice little start. Hoping my opponent just has a clunker of a start. Scoured Barrens is not a good indication that they have a clunky deck. All right, so we go Mardu Devotee. I don't want lands. I'll take the Pack Beasts, I think. Yeah, I'll take the Pack Beast, sure. It's just the best 3-mana play here. You know, it's weird, like, it's a weird card to want, but I kind of would have liked the second Rebellious Strike in this deck. You know what I mean? Feels like it would have been pretty nice here. Against this, I think just having a 2-3 makes a lot of sense. Like, turn 3, I'm playing the Pack Beast anyways. And I have lots of ways to make extra 1/1s. I don't know. But, like, given that my opponent was on the play, right? This is the third Abzan opponent in a row. What the hell? Like I said, I think Abzan is my worst matchup. Okay, I mean, they're doing the same thing we're doing. Going wide. Going wide, friends. No lands there. That's unfortunate. Figured we'd find a fourth land there. Would be pretty important here, but yeah, this is an interesting start for both sides. Who can go wider? But given that I've done no damage to my opponent, I just feel like this is not a great spot to be in, but we'll see. Man, this betrayal has just been consistently garbage. I keep talking about changing it out, but man, it has not been good. I don't want them to use a removal spell on the Bearer of Glory, and because I'm far away from 5 lands, I'm not going to play it yet. We'll play Descendant of Storms, play an Earthcarver, which works nice with some of our Mobilize cards. I just don't have good attacks. God, can you imagine a Duty Beyond Death in this deck? Ugh. Wish I had an opportunity at one. Are you sure? Are you sure about this? Okay. Oh, wow. They just used it right away. I had the Strategic Betrayal, damn it. Oh, wow. Pack Beast for 1 mana. And you wonder why I take this so highly. Ooh, Aggressive Negotiations is also really interesting. All right. Look, we got in for 2 damage. Bam. I mean, to be fair, like, they don't have much of a board. But they do have 3 cards in hand. Feral Deathgorger is also really annoying. It's very, very hard for us to get a good attack in against that. Do you have Snakeskin Veil? Okay. So Snakeskin Veil is one of the cards in their hand, I suppose. At least that's what this attack is telling me. Gosh. How... 16 cards in, double Pack Beast, and just no land. That's really unfortunate. I don't know where I want to put the counter. I think it's just the Pack Beast. Holy cow. That is bad. That is really bad. They have 2 lands? Okay. Alright, so hope I don't draw... Like, if that was the case, the Negotiations was literally the worst draw in my deck. I still had to play it, but obviously not a good place to be here. Okay. Okay, we are mega wide. Another Deathgorger, okay. What if I draw a land? So let's see. Let's just think about this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 attackers, 4 blockers. Oh, I can't pump this yet. Never. What am I thinking? Yeah, I can't pump that yet. Man. I just want to clear the board. So I know I'm like trading down a creature here, but I just want to clear the board here. Like, if they block with the Pack Beast, that's just 1 less creature to be able to get a favorable block against all the other stuff. And I'm going to play this, I think, to try to get a counter on something. No, maybe that's bad. Yeah, we'll just wait. Because I want to keep up the protection here, if possible. Okay, so now I am more scared based on like what they had. Or based on what they were considering here. So I do think Negotiations might make sense. Although maybe just having a protection spell is still better. Because they're just going to fire off the removal spell in response. Ooh, this is a tricky spot. Tricky spot. Now we drew land number 5. I think they really want to kill my Bearer. We can protect it and then make a very big attack. So that's kind of my plan here. Kintree Severance. I do think I'm interested in saving that, honestly, because that represents a lot of damage with my Bearer of Glory. But I can't really attack still. Hexproof Vigilance. Well, let's see. Let me actually think about this. Yeah, they eat this. I make a token. Like, they eat this, this, and this, and they don't take enough damage. Okay. Wow, what a draw. Skirmish Rhino, okay. Man, this is rough. Like, I still don't have great attacks. All right, let me think here, okay? If I attack with everything, they're going to eat Pack Beasts. They're going to eat Earth Carver. Let's see, four blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage coming through. Maybe I keep the Bearer of Glory back and attack with everything. Yeah, I think so. And I'm not going to endure. I need to pump. And we're not dead on the attack back, so... Yeah, I mean, I'm going to lose a lot of stuff here, but I'm going for what I believe will give me a better chance to be able to close this game out. And if they don't kill my Pack Beast, that's a pretty big error on their part, in my opinion. So this lets me get in for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. All right, so now they're at 10. I still have a blocker for their ground creatures, and next turn I can still get in for a pretty big attack. Additionally, I have Wayspeaker Bodyguard, plus I can play a Descendant if I really wanted. But let's say I attack with everything now. 3, 4, 5, 8 creatures attack, 4 blockers. So 3 1/1s get through. That's 2, 4, 6, 7 damage. That's not quite enough. So because of that, I'm just going to add to the board. And I'm going to get actually Mardu Devotee here over the other creature, because I just feel like it's in my best interest to just dig for something good here. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out. We don't have lethal here, though. Like 3 blockers, like but the thing is, by adding 2 more things to the board, that's pretty good, right? Certainly don't need lands. Although, actually, like, double negotiations is not terrible. No, that's crazy talk. Okay. All right. So if next turn, like, we don't attack this turn, next turn we get to have, like, a pretty good attack. And the nice thing is they're, like, never in a position to attack. So they have 5 blockers, and we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 attackers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm 1 damage short of killing them. So what I want to do instead, actually, is go aggressive negotiations, targeting my opponent. And I want to put a counter on my Pack Beasts. They don't have a removal spell here. It's a combat trick or something. Yeah. That's fine. And then we get to play this. Let's tap this down. Another Bearer of Glory would be totally fine. Karsi Revenant's also great. I don't think I want Mardu Devotee. But let's keep the Revenant just in case. And yeah, this should be good. Because we added a creature and we added a power. We were 1 damage short. So unless they can kill my Bearer of Glory, we'll be okay. And obviously, if they top deck a removal spell, that's not great. But we ran to maths. This was a really interesting game. Just like figuring out how we can attack and getting our opponent low enough. I don't know. I really like the way that this game played out. Like let's just say, because I'm not known to be an aggro player, so I am proud of myself for the sequencing in this one. All right, another Abzan player down and still rank 3. I guess rank 1 is just not going to happen. But you know what? We're still in position here for 7 trophies in a row, potentially. We are 6-1. Let's keep this going. All right, playing against the number 4 Meerkat. Well, I don't know what that means, but I'm also getting older, so... All right, on the draw, we do have our mana. We have a 2-drop into an Aggressive Negotiations or a Pack Beasts. I'm actually curious what's better there. But a lot of it will also obviously depend on their start. Forest there. We drew land number 4, which is okay. Oh, black-green. Are they black-green counters? Could certainly be. Another land was bad. That was bad. Okay. Well, you know what? You know what, dude? Turn 3 Warden of the Grove. That's not fun. Wow, and they have like multiple creatures to play. This is ridiculous. So it's this is a 2-mana 3/3, and this one, I mean, that one's harder to block, but there's also Rally the Monastery, which is not as big. Oh, let me take a look at my opponent's mana. They can play this next turn. That card seems more annoying. But yeah, this is a tough spot. Formation Breaker, they get to probably make it a 4/4, honestly. And that's really strong. And we're going to need to try to race them somehow, some way. Now, I do have the Stormbrood. I guess I can remove some counters. Really? The Thoughtseize bug is well and alive. Unreal. Yep. I mean, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I think I need to save this, right? Those creatures don't seem particularly impactful. Yeah, and they get to go Rally the Monastery here. That's gross. I don't even know what to remove with the Purging Stormbrood. Like, this is just all kinds of bad. Like, this was just the perfect aggro start here. Wow. Look, my deck doesn't have a lot of removal, so cheap bombs is just going to be tough, or these decks that try to curve out is going to be a very, very tough matchup for me. I don't know what they're going on about. So this is a 6/6. I mean, the Revenant wasn't bad. Let's see, if I play these two, I have 5 blockers. This gets through. This gets to eat something. Okay. Alright, they're doing math. Yep. That makes sense. If they play a creature, I'm just... Alright, or just... There's just no way I win. Warden of the Grove, GG. Look, the fact that we're still in contention here to get a trophy here, I'm very happy with, you know, just like a decent black-white deck with mostly commons, and this was our lane, and our losses were to turn to Warden of the Grove, which we don't have an answer for, admittedly, unless we were on the play. Yeah, if we were on the play, we probably win that game, or it's really close. Okay, all right, we're on the play this time, though. And yep, this is a keeper of a hand. Let's go for the trophy here, hopefully. We have a 2-drop into Aggressive Negotiations, the Dream. Let's make a token here. Red-green, okay. Why? Just everybody's just on their... Everybody's just on their formation breaker phase of their life, I guess. Okay, knockout maneuver and Eshki. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So next turn they can go knockout maneuver and turn that into a 4/4. If I take the knockout maneuver, they just cycle the Stormshriek Feral, then do I have an answer to the Eshki? I don't know. That's the problem here. The thing is, if they go island knockout maneuver, that slows them down too, right? Oh, they can also just go land Sage of the Fang. What am I saying? I'm just taking the Eshki. The way that I look at it is if they go knockout maneuver, I can just go strategic betrayal. Okay. Wow, that was aggro. I mean, this betrayal, whatever I kill with this betrayal, it's very good, right? And I think I'll go Devotee here and try to find some action. I don't want that, but I will obviously take the Pack Beast. Let's beat down. We do have a bit of a racing situation here. I am currently losing the race. Fortress Kingguard down. Next turn, I probably play the Dawnbreaker, attack for 3. We take 5, go to 11. Now, the nice thing is that it's like chunks of 5 and I'm at 16. But certainly makes sense to just kill the Kingguard and try to race me here. And they get to play a tap land here as well. Hold on, they better attack first and then play the tap land because sequencing. Okay. I mean, this is a super close one. But we have played against so many of these like proactive +1/+1 counters decks. It's kind of weird. Which makes it so that these types of decks, the ones that I have, might be a little bit worse to draft. Oh, that's fantastic. Iridescent Tiger here is incredible. Into a dragon? Yeah, okay. Wow. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I gotta play the lands in case I like chain a bunch of pack beasts into lands, maybe. I don't have a good attack though. Alright, well, I mean, it's a close one, but I think I'm just gonna die to the Formation Breaker. And if they have an answer to the Dawnbreaker, it's just game. Glacial Dragon Hunt doesn't quite do it. I mean, it's very good. Okay, no, so we're dead. Yeah, they found the Champion of Doosan. Unfortunate here, friends. The Rock is angry. The Rock is angry. Should have drafted 5 colors, obviously. I still think I like the decision to kill the Eshki. To take the Eshki. I don't know. Like, the thing is, I mean, that is one of the weaknesses with our deck, is just the fact that we didn't have too much removal. Like, no Dragon's Prey, or I had an option at taking some Osseous Exhales, but yeah. Like, for the commons that we had, this deck was solid. I'll let my opponent do this, but, like, it's so, like, I'm literally dead on board. What are they doing? Why are they doing it this way? I don't understand. Their Formation Breaker was unblockable. Yeah, okay. What? Yeah, that's a big oops there. Okay, I guess we'll block like this. It'd be funny if I somehow won this game, but they're gonna see it. All right, it's okay. I think this deck certainly started out overperforming, and we are just right back to where we started. That is the nature of high rank Mythic. You go 6 and 3, and you start at the same place. I'm lucky that I didn't go back a notch. But there you have it, folks. 6 and 3. 6 and 3, so our incredible trophy run ends here, sadly. Right? We went 6 trophies in a row, and at least we're like... We're falling back slowly. It's not like we 2-3'd. This was a 6-3 finish. We had 2 shots at a trophy. We lost to a turn 3 Warden, followed by a really good follow-up in a solid curve. We lost to that Abzan deck with all rares, and then we lost to this deck where we just didn't have an answer to Formation Breaker. Like, they did their thing, and it was able to beat the thing that we were trying to do. But all in all, if you look at this deck, right, it's like 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 14, 17. The fact that we were able to get 6 wins with a deck with 18 commons is pretty incredible in its own right. Like, I know Sol Road Pack Beast and aggressive negotiations are fine, especially negotiations in an aggressive deck, but we didn't have that many rares and uncommons to lean on, and the fact that we were still able to get those number of wins, I'm pretty happy about. And this is certainly not a deck that I actively look to draft going into this draft format. I think just a good 5-color deck is where you want to be for the most part. Read the signals, whatever. Maybe you have a good aggressive wedge, but this is not where I want to be. I want it to be red-white. I think red-white is better than black-white by a pretty good margin. Black just basically gives you aggressive negotiations, and we had the Revenant. But what we did was just take a bunch of white cards, and our white cards were very strong. Triple Mardu, Devotee, Descendant of Storms. Now, we didn't have too many things to help us for going wide. We had the 2 Bearer of Glories, that's it. A Duty Beyond Death would have gone a long way. But I'm pretty happy with my sequencing overall for this video. I'm pretty happy with how this deck played out in general. And getting to the position that we were in and losing to what we lost to, I'm okay with. So all in all, this was a fun experiment to have. We actually have an insane win rate with black-white. We went 7-2 and 6-3. So that's really, really good. So it's just nice to know that as I continue drafting this format, there are other things that I can look to do outside of the 5-color things that could maybe give me some success. Now, like I said, I would have really liked to have a few more uncommons and rares, but that's not what we saw. We saw a bunch of premium commons in the Devotees and the Pack Beasts, and we just kind of moved that direction, and this is what we had. 6-3. So gonna go for rank 1 still, hopefully, over the next few videos. Like I said, this video is probably coming out in early May, but I have to make a few videos ahead of time just because I have a really, really busy schedule ahead of me. So as my videos come out, I'll still be in the mix potentially for rank 1, and maybe we can get there in the next couple of videos. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and would like to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Once again, big shout out to all the patrons. Also, check out TCGplayer.com if you need Magic the Gathering, singles, and sealed product. If you need singles for your standard decks, we just had the regional championships happen in Europe last week. If you want to build some sweet Is It Prowess decks or whatever, check out TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before you make any purchases. Last but certainly not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.